Welcome back to Mango Invest, guys. We've got a lot to get to in this video. This is going to be 4 REITs that pay me over $3,200 per year in dividends. All right, but before we get into the video, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. And also, if you're from Australia and you like coffee beans, try concealed carry coffee. It's actually really nice. All right, let's get into it. All right. Cool, so the first one we're going to talk about is AGNC. So it's a monthly paying real estate investment trust, and they essentially invest in mortgage-backed securities with the intention of giving off monthly dividends to their shareholders, which they get from gaining interest from all their investments. So their portfolio consists of a 30-year, 15-year and 20-year fixed loans on just residential properties, and that's just a quick little pie graph there for you. But moving into the dividend history, as you can see here, over time, they've actually decreased their dividend. Obviously, they're probably, over 2020 was pretty hard for every sort of business here. And this is not what you're looking for a typical dividend company. Usually we want to see the reverse of them actually growing their dividend over time. But just with that, it's a very small portion of my dividend portfolio. So first thing I'll say is just understand your risk tolerance with the companies. As I said, this is a very small percentage of my total portfolio, so I'm willing to accept that little bit of risk in order to get like a higher percentage on my money. Moving down here with the dividend payout history, as I said, they pay monthly. Generally on the 9th and the 12th of every single month, you receive that 12 cents per share on your dividend. All right, so this is my personal investment into AGNC. All right, so I've got, as you can see here, 987 shares within the company at an average price of $12.82. I'm actually negative $1,421, which is 11% of the total equity, which is $11,235. All right, so moving on to the dividend tracker. Let's scroll up to AGNC. And moving all the way over to the far right. So with all the shares that I own, then every year they're going to be paying me $1,421. So when you break it down to every month, that's $118. It would be good if it was $1,000, but it's only $118 per month there. Of course, that concludes AGNC. One thing I'll say on this company is just understand your risk tolerance, okay? If you're just willing to keep it a small percentage of your portfolio, that's okay. Although do your own research into the financials of the company just to see if you do want to accept that extra little bit of risk for the higher percentage dividend yield there. All right, cool. So this moves on to the second real estate investment trust within the portfolio, which is Realty Income Corporation. This is a very popular one. And they more sort of invest into the industrial sort of commercial real estate within the United States. So here's just a quick bit of metrics for you. So 98.9% of their portfolio is actually being occupied by their clients, which is a good sign. You want to see that number as high as it can be. Moving on to the dividend payout. So this is what you want to see for a good, solid, trusted dividend company. So they've got 26 years of consecutive dividends paid out to their shareholders, and for each year of those 26 years, they've increased the dividend by 3 and 4% every time, which is extremely healthy, and that's what you want to see as a dividend investor. Okay. They pay monthly, and then from the 13th to the 15th of every single month, you'll receive a dividend of 24 cents per share. Moving on to my stake within Realty Income Corporation. So it's got a dividend yield of 4.44%. I've got 269 shares at an average price of $64 per share. And then my total profit so far is $668, which equates to 3% within my equity. And my equity is $18,148. Let's move on to the dividend tracker just to see how much money I get with these guys every single year. So pushing all the way to the right hand side, we've got $804 that I earn per year with the company, which breaks down to $67 per month with Realty Income Corporation. Cool. All right, moving on to LTC Properties. All right, so these guys invest more into the aged care sector within the United States. So here's just a quick little bit of metrics for you. So, 59% of their portfolio is in assisted living, okay, and then 37% is in skilled nursing, and then that 3% is just from other random ones. Total properties occupied is 210. Moving on to the dividend history, and with this one, they're not decreasing or they're not increasing their dividends over time. So, for the last 5 years, they've paid 19 cents per share for those 5 years, which in my books, that's fairly consistent, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so they also pay monthly. So between the 28th and 30th or 31st of every single month, they're going to pay you 19 cents per share. All right, which equates to 6.21% of their dividend yield. Okay, so within this company, I've got 287 shares at a price of $34 each share. In profit, I'm up $626, which is 6% of my total equity, which is $10,475 so far. Cool, let's move on to the dividend tracker. Where's LTC? Moving all the way to the right-hand side here. So they're paying me $654 per year. Okay, so when you break it down every month, they're paying me $54 per month. Okay, moving on to the last real estate investment trust of my portfolio, Vici Properties. So these guys pay me quarterly, so that's the only difference there. And basically, everybody knows the very fancy strip in Las Vegas, all the gaming and gambling real estate companies there. That holds 47% of their portfolio. So Vici Property owns 49 dynamic gaming destinations and 4 championship golf courses located across the United States and Canada. All right. Moving over to the dividend history. All right, so 4 years consecutively that they've been paying a dividend, and within those 4 years, every single year, they've actually increased their dividend. All right, and there's just a quick little graph there of their growth rate. Moving down, so they pay quarterly, okay? So on the 4th, 7th, 10th, and then the first month of every single year, that's when they'll pay their dividend of 39 cents per share. All right, moving into my stake within Vici. So the dividend yield here is 4.59%. Shares I own is 210 shares at a price of $28 per share. So far I'm up 18% of the company, which equates to $1,106. Total equity, $7,088. All right, so moving on to the dividend tracker, all the way to the bottom, Vici Properties, all right, $327 per year. So when you break it down, $81 they're paying me per quarter, all right, which is pretty damn good. All right, just to summarize, guys, so they're the 4 real estate investment trusts that I hold within my portfolio that pay me $3,200 per year in dividends, which is only going to grow. I'm only going to reinvest these dividends and increase that yearly income. Hopefully we can get to $4,000, $5,000 per year just with those real estate investment trusts. Just remember to do your own sort of analysis and understand your risk tolerance, okay, with just before you invest into these companies. Cool. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel. See you next time.